I wasn't sure myself then.
I believe my parents took me.
And they didn't know what it was like.
The guy from Grafton, did you do up in Grafton?
My parents couldn't take care of me because I had a lot of medical problems.
After our dad was killed, all five of us went up to Grafton.
How old were you when you went to Grafton?
I was just 3 years old.
How did you get there?
When I was 3 years old, I was February 22nd, 1945, and went to Grafton. And that's when I was 3 years old.
How did you get to Grafton?
Mrs. Ruth World of Streeter, North Dakota, has put us in Grafton.
Okay.
My social worker.
Okay. How did that happen?
After our dad was killed, all five of us went up to Grafton.
How old were you when you went to Grafton?
I would say 10, 9, 8, somewhere there.
Do you remember that day? Do you remember going there?
Yeah, it was in the wintertime,
Okay.
and I believe it was 55.
How did you get to Grafton?
I believe my parents took me down there.
Okay.
My dad and my real mother passed on when I was 4, so my dad got remarried. So.
But your father and his new wife took you to Grafton.
Yeah.
Did they tell you why?
Maybe at the time, I didn't understand why.
Oh. Later on, did your parents tell you why they took you to Grafton?
I think it was because he couldn't afford the medical things that were needed at that time.
How old were you when you went to Grafton?
20.
So you went when you were 20 years old. Did they tell you why you were going there?
I told them as I want to go down to Grafton and see what it's like.
Do you remember going to Grafton, your first day getting there?
Oh yeah.
You do? What happened? How did that go? What happened?
I got scared.
Oh, okay.
Well, what it was, I didn't know anything about it. They grabbed me and held me back. I wouldn't go.
Who came to get you to take you to Grafton?
The sheriff.
Okay. Do you remember why the sheriff said he was going to
sure.
take you to Grafton?
They said I couldn't behave myself. Couldn't learn in Grafton. I mean, country school.
Okay.
Didn't have no choice, no thing.
When you got to Grafton, do you remember your first day or so?
Yeah.
What happened?
I got there about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
They took me into the room. Then about an hour after I went down late. They gave me, I wasn't sure myself there. I wanted to run away a couple times, but I never did run away.
So I went to Grafton in January 7, 1957.
So you were about 10 years old.
Yeah, I know. Some guy called my mom, whatever.
Uh-huh. So some guy called your mom, and
Yeah.
now did your mom take you there?
No. The guy from Grafton, did you do up in Grafton?
Typical day would be, because I was new, I was there. I guess get to know some of the kids that were already there. I would say kind of blending in, trying to, just get along with everybody.
I got there about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
They took me into the room. Then about an hour after I went down late. They gave me, I wasn't sure myself there.
Okay.
Took a few days to get used to things. It was all different.
What was it like being away from your family?
Kind of boring, lonely. Worked outside in the garden. That's for most of my first couple of years, yeah.
So when you were 11 or 12 years old, you were working in the gardens already?
Oh yeah,
Well, you were. Okay.
oh yeah, first summer.
Okay. What did you like about working in the gardens?
I get out of the ward. I didn't like sitting in the ward.
Now, did you have your own bedroom? Did you have your own room?
Oh no, the rooms were like you know, like a dorm type. Well, you might well say the living rooms were sort of like that way too, because they were large rooms, and there was the only small rooms there were is, you know, like all the side rooms. Even the bathrooms were, you had to, sometimes you had to even, well, there was five, I can say stools, or, okay. There were 5 stools in a row. And there were 3, I think there were 3 sinks, and there was 1 tub. So we all had to take, you know, turns to our bath.
First banner at North B4.
North B4.
All the mixed up kids. About 44 people each for a whole.
What do you remember most about Grafton?
Mostly when I first got there, I used to take care of kids, feed them, bathe them, and a lot of cleaning. And they used to eat on the wards, and I used to help with the dishes, cleaning up and washing tables and all that stuff.
You said that when you went to Grafton
Yeah.
in January 7th, 1957, that someone from the school came and got you and took you there.
Yeah.
Your mother didn't go with you.
No.
Did you ever see your mother again?
No.
She didn't come and visit.
Nope. Not one.
Did your mother end up staying at Grafton?
Yes.
She did, okay. When you were at Grafton, did you live with your mother then?
No, I lived on a ward, North B4.
So when you were 4 years old, your mother stayed somewhere else at Grafton?
She was in Sunset Hall.
Okay.
Sunset Hall 2.
Did you get to go see her?
Yes, I visited her every Sunday.
Oh, okay. Was that something that you liked to do, or
Yes, yes it was.
what did your mother say to you about the visits? Do you remember?
Good.
She liked them.
She liked them.
Okay.
We got along real good.
So, but all the other days, Monday through Saturday, you weren't with your mother.
No.
You said that your parents initially couldn't come for 2 weeks.
And then was my birthday. And they called up and they said, she done something wrong. And they were my parents were gonna come down and see me for my birthday and take me out and everything. And they couldn't.
What was it like when you couldn't see your family?
Oh, I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit.
Did you get a chance to go home sometimes on vacations?
For Easter and for Thanksgiving and Christmas and for all of the holidays, I got to go home. And for my birthday, I got to go home 3 weeks instead of 2, 3.
Did your family come to visit you at Grafton?
Yeah, and then they took me over to Grand Forks to see Helen.
When you were at Grafton, did you ever have any contact with your family? Did they come to visit you? Did you get to go on vacations?
Well, this was the good part of it. Back in 1964, when Louise came to Grafton, Louise's mom and dad knew my mother and dad. So that was one good thing about it.
Uh-huh.
Before that, I didn't even know. I knew I had parents, but I didn't know where they were or anything.
Did your parents ever come to Grafton to visit you?
No.
Did you ever get a chance to visit them before they passed?
Well, when I was still at Grafton, my grandparents came up twice, and they told me a little about Mom and Dad. In 75, when I came to Grand Forks, and up to 79, I thought, I'm going to take a notion, see if I can go and see my dad. And I did. But before I left Grafton, 75, my mom died, so I never got to see her.
Did they treat you differently when you were young? How?
They treated me real nice when I was smaller.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got older, they started getting rough with me. Well, I was accused of cutting cords off the radio, which I never did. Somebody else did it, but they blamed me. I got the blame for it.
Okay. So they said you cut the cords off the radio and then
Yeah.
sent you to the polisher.
They made me polish fast, and I had to polish fast without stopping. If I didn't go fast, they'd whip or beat me up. They'd whip and beat me. To be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
they tore my shirt off my back, and they just whipped the living heck out of me.
When you went from North B to Wiley, did you get to decide that, or did
Nope.
what happened? How did that go?
I ran away.
Okay, you ran away from Grafton.
Mm-hmm.
Then what did they do?
They brought me back and put me in Wally Hall. Mm-hmm.
Why did you run away?
I don't know. Get away from that.
Was it? Did you think it was bad
Well,
at Grafton?
mm-hmm.
Well, you said one time when they brought you back, they punished you. What
Mhm.
was that?
They put us over in Wally Hall.
So what was bad about Wiley?
I didn't want to go over there. All them guys never could take care of themselves and stuff. I wanted to be outside.
Did they lock you in the building?
Mm-hmm. They had night watchmen go around and check and see that everything's okay.
What would happen if you were in your bed, either in North B or in Wiley, and the night watchman would come around, but you weren't sleeping?
I know.
Would they say anything to you?
No. I usually was sleeping.
Okay. People didn't get in trouble for staying awake, or
No.
what did you think about having to sleep there?
No. Not very good. Didn't have much privacy.
Did you get to watch TV there?
Yes.
Did you get to decide what to watch? You could change the channels if you wanted to, or did somebody else have to change them?
Somebody else did. The attendants had to change the channel.
But they were kind of strict up there, but there's good employers too, I can tell you that.
There were.
They weren't all bad employers. Well, they some of them I think kind of accepted us as a person. You know, they liked us, and we got to know them, we got to know even some of their family. The worst memory is when we went to bed 8:30 at night. Get up 6 in the morning, get ready for breakfast, go down and eat breakfast, go back up, do all our chores, and could not take a bath alone. There's about 4 or 5 people in the bathrooms. So there was no privacy there. It really wasn't. You had to undress in front of them, take a bath in front of them, and get dressed again.
Mm-hmm.
And they locked the dormitory doors where we slept at night. People wanted to go to the bathroom, they couldn't go. They had to wait till 10 o'clock just to go to the bathroom. And bars on the windows. just like you were in prison there for a while.
Did you have friends when you were at Grafton?
Yes.
Tell me about your friends. Who were they?
Okay, they were at the, room door, mark door, or the German door.
And it says you had a boyfriend down there in Grafton. Tell me about your boyfriend.
Yeah. I had one down there towards last. I didn't want to leave him because he was so nice.
Tell me about your friends at Grafton. Did you have friends there?
Oh yeah, I had quite a bit of friends.
Tell me, do you remember who they were?
No, I don't know.
Okay,
Don't remember what their names were.
okay. So,
Art Camel was a good one. Him and I went fishing one time and I caught a great big 10-pound northern pike.
tell me about making friends at Grafton. Did you make friends?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I seem to get along with a lot of the residents. Yeah.
Do you still see any of your friends from Grafton?
A lot of them, except the ones that live in town here. There's some that were here.
I had a good friend at the carpenter shop. I go up there once a year and see him. He doesn't know how to do anything anymore, so I'll crippled up.
Okay.
Some of my old carpenter buddies. We used to have fun working out there.
Just tell me about your friends that you
Well,
made
I
at
had
Grafton.
a lot of friends.
I would believe that.
I had Louise, which is my best friend. Beverly was my friend. Phyllis is my good friend.
What things did you get to do with your friends when you lived at Grafton?
Just things on the woods, mostly. We didn't get to go out to eat like we were now.
Tell me about leaving.
To get to leave, they did all kinds of what I would call valuations. You know, they test you for whatever type of test they had, would have you do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of them intelligence tests. I think it's called.
Mm-hmm. Did they tell you where you were going to go when you leave?
Well, I kind of picked Grand Forks out of my own idea.
Why did you pick Grand Forks?
I don't know. That is just kind of must have been just a fluke of a thing, you know. It was, well, I thought maybe I might like it, but of course there was a lot of some of the Grafton people were down there too. So
Okay.
that might have been why. But
Tell me about your time getting up to and the actual day that you got to move out of Grafton.
We went to meetings, we had to go meet with Ron Stanley, and when I came to mine, it was scary too. Now I'm glad I'm here. I got to do a lot of things here in mine.
You met with, did you say Ron Stanley?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did you have to do at that meeting?
I always just talk about going to my country workshop.
Okay. You said you were afraid leaving Grafton?
Mm-hmm, because I was never in. I used to be in society before, but I had too many things going on there that, just like now, it seemed it'd be tough for me to go back there now, because I wouldn't know anybody there. Everything.
You were saying you've been at REM for 21 years.
Yeah, this coming year will be 21 years.
Okay. So you've been out of Grafton for 21 years.
Yeah, I've been out of Grafton.
Were you nervous when you were getting ready to leave Grafton?
Yeah.
You were excited?
Mm-hmm.
So you were happy to leave or sad?
Oh no, I was happy. Hey, believe it or not, in 1971, I almost didn't want to go. I almost did.
Why?
But I feel like it, my home. You feel like it, and the next day, and then almost didn't want to get out of Grafton. Almost did.
What changed your mind?
I know it. I changed my mind quick in a hurry.
Now, what kind of things did they do to train you to get ready?
Okay, like any teacher, that had to learn to be on your own. Get a job and stay to the job.
I asked to get out of Grafton. I didn't want to be up there anymore.
How old were you when you left?
About 32 years old. I told them I want to get out of Grafton. I don't like it up here anymore. Then they asked me, Ruben, how would you like to go to Minot? And I said, yeah, I would like to go to Minot. So I went. So here I am.
Do you think people should live in an institution? Why not?
I don't think if they're, if they can, if they can go to work and take care of themselves, they don't have to be in one.
Living in like that, in where there's large rooms with a lot of people, it burns you out after a while. And like when I go visit people at the nursing home, I can see all that Grafton flashing back. It all comes back. You know, you couldn't have a perfect day every day there. Being out is, I think, is better.
Some good times, some tough times, fighting. They were pretty good times, Joe.
Do you think you'd ever want to go back to live at Grafton?
No, oh, downtown, but not to school.
What are your best memories of Grafton?
The best memories is that I learned a lot of things from there. And the employees, some employees were good and going to school.
Do you think you should have ever been placed in Grafton?
Though that's what some people say, they should never been there.
What do you think?
I think so too. But I couldn't do nothing about it when you're a baby, you don't know.
Right.
And all this medical, they said I was badly deformed when I was born, but I don't know that. I thought I would never get out of there. Over 30 years, staying at state school.
How did that make you feel?
Kind of sad. I always used to say it, I don't say it anymore. I wish I was never born. I used to say that.
If there were people that they were going to put into the institution, what would you say to those people?
Boy, that I would say that I told him to people, but you don't want to know what's going on up there.
You don't want to know what's going on up there.
They don't want to know. If we do, they find out sooner or later.
This is all true. So let the tape go on, you know.
Okay.
Let people know it. It's really true stuff.